Coming up on Valley News Live at 10, details on a man wanted for manslaughter on the run in Fargo. Plus,
fascist Nazi, and now you are marked.
Fargo school board members under attack after voting to stop saying the pledge before meetings. Hear what they voted to do tonight.
And from funnels to flooding, what comes next after dangerous conditions around the region tonight? Valley News Live at 10 starts right now.
This is Valley News Live at 10.
Breaking news tonight, a man wanted for manslaughter is on the run in Fargo.
This is tied to a dead body found downtown over the weekend. Police say 58-year-old Roberto Garcia is wanted for manslaughter and aggravated assault. He's described as 5'6", about 190 pounds. If you see him, they ask that you do not approach. You call 911 instead.
New information just in on last night's stabbing. 41-year-old Christopher Kane has been arrested. He's facing charges for attempted murder and preventing arrest after police were called to the Exxon gas station on 13th Avenue South last night for a disturbance. When they showed up, they found the victim and Kane, who they say led them on a short foot chase. The victim is in critical condition.
For what I am about to do. In a few minutes, I'm going to vote to reinstate the Pledge of Allegiance here, having been directly influenced by people I was not elected to represent.
Allegiance will once again be said before Fargo school board meetings after an 8-1 vote at a special meeting tonight.
That comes roughly a week after a separate vote not to say it, which was met with national backlash. Valley News Team's Alex Larson has the story.
Do you concede the battle to win the war?
The Fargo School Board only started saying the Pledge of Allegiance back in April. And after the August 9th 7-2 vote to stop saying the pledge to have more time for their meetings, the issue got national attention. And board members say they received hundreds of messages and voicemails, many from out of the area.
Only 19% of the messages I received were from Fargo residents. That means more than 4 of every 5 messages came from people who I was not elected to represent.
Board member Naimal Day played a voicemail she says is representative of the kind she has received.
Should have figured a black vote for the Pledge of Allegiance before school. Listen, you weren't a slave. Nobody you know was a slave. And nobody alive owned a slave. But you don't like the Pledge of Allegiance because it hurts your little black feelings. Aw, you're a fascist Nazi, and now you are marked.
Board members say the school could not even answer the phone for 2 days because of the barrage of phone calls. And at least one board member has filed a police report.
Hate has no place in this Fargo community, I can tell you that. And I will not tolerate it myself.
Some of the board members say they believe many local people supported their decision to not say the pledge, but are worried about all the negative attention the decision drew.
I'm very concerned about the image of our district right now. But I'm wondering if reinstating will change that image or not.
Personally, I think the decision we made to no longer say it was the appropriate decision. And those of you that want to send me more hate email, feel free to do it.
But ultimately, all but one board member, including 6 of the 7 who voted to stop saying the pledge, decided to start saying it once again. In Fargo,
Motion passes.
Alex Larson reporting for your news leader.
And the decision was 8-1 with Naimal Day as the only one voting against. She's that board member who received the message you heard during that story.
And remember, this just involves the pledge at board meetings.
Yeah.
The pledge has and will continue to be said in schools.
Meanwhile, the superintendent in Valley City is speaking out tonight, saying ever since this drama over the pledge in Fargo gained national attention, their phone has been ringing off the hook. He wants to assure people they do say the pledge before meetings.
To reassure people that yes, that practice is going to continue. We've been doing that for 6 years, and again believe that it's a foundation. It's an opportunity for us as a school district, as leaders, to be able to unite, to bring people together.
Earlier this week, I reached out to 25 other local schools about whether or not they say the pledge before board meetings. Only 9 of 25 have responded, but of those 9, 7 school leaders tell me they do say the pledge at board meetings, though most have only started doing it the last few years. Of the 2 that don't, 1 is now considering adding it following the issues in Fargo.
It's been a night of active weather with this funnel cloud spotted tonight in Becker County and more reported in the Northern Valley. Meteorologist Nathan Hopper joins us now with an update. Nathan.
Yeah, thanks, Stacy. We were watching very closely all afternoon long for that chance of funnel clouds. We were just close enough to the center of low pressure where there was plenty of spin in the atmosphere. Have not heard any reports of funnels like these reaching all the way to the ground. This one also from that Callaway, Minnesota area in Becker County. Let's take this full screen there. You can see that funnel cloud right over the telephone poles there. Thanks, Jessica, for sharing that video and also this picture to our website, valleynewslive.com. Boy, beautiful shot of downtown Fargo from our Corwin Auto Tower cam. Things are quieter now in the metro and definitely quieter than they were this afternoon, where, of course, there's that funnel that was reported in the Northern Valley. This was just down the highway from Hoople, between Hoople and Milton. Train spotter saw a small funnel, a rope-shaped funnel, dangling from a parent cloud there. Now, here's how things look now. Low pressure system still hanging on in northern Minnesota. Still kind of seeing that counterclockwise spin here. Notice a lot of that lightning, though, has been coming down. So we're seeing now just run-of-the-mill showers this evening. Fargo, just to the west of town, they're seeing maybe just a moderate shower pushing across the I-94 corridor. Still seeing a few spots with some moderate rain from the Clearwater County area up into far northwestern Minnesota, and also seeing another band of rain there from portions of Cavalier County down toward Michigan. Now, of course, we're watching for, more rain in the forecast. Same low pressure system, Justin, Stacy, hangs on tomorrow. So we'll break down what impacts we can expect from that in a few minutes.
Sounds good. Thanks, Nathan.
Yeah.
The sound of chainsaws filled neighborhoods across Cambridge, Minnesota today, nearly an hour north of the Twin Cities. City officials say 2 hours of rain last night caused damage that will likely take days to clean up. On top of flash flooding, strong winds knocked down limbs and even entire trees in many neighborhoods.
Now to new developments on a hot topic in Grand Forks. Last year, Fu Feng, a Chinese food company, bought 370 acres of land just outside the city. Now, folks in Grand Forks are hoping to get a question on the ballot to let voters decide if that should actually happen. Earlier this year, several people spoke out against the project at city council meetings, many saying they don't want a Chinese entity operating so close to them or so close to the Air Force base there. Others argued against it for environmental reasons.
And if the city has put things like whether there should be a pool in a certain location, and mundane things like that, whether there should be a new public park in the city, then why wouldn't something of this magnitude be proper for a public vote?
Both sides are now waiting for a ruling from a Devil's Lake judge on whether this issue can go to a vote. No word yet on how long that ruling might take.
Tomorrow, a state court will hear arguments on whether or not to issue a preliminary injunction blocking North Dakota's trigger law, which bans nearly all abortions. Abortion is set to become illegal in North Dakota next Friday, but the Red River Women's Clinic is asking the court to block the law while the litigation continues. They argue that the North Dakota Constitution guarantees rights to life, liberty, safety, and happiness, all of which they say protects the right to abortion. Court begins tomorrow morning in Bismarck. Tomorrow night, an anti-abortion group is holding a rally in Moorhead. That'll be at the corner of 3rd Avenue North and 24th Street North starting at 7. Organizers expect hundreds of people to attend.
As kids get ready to go back to school, some schools are dealing with staffing shortages. So in an effort to help, Fargo Public Schools is working with a placement agency called TeachQuest USA to hire 10 special education teachers through a visa process. School leaders say all 10 of those they're hiring are from the Philippines and are expected to join for the upcoming school year. Right now, those teachers are busy finalizing paperwork and obtaining their visas and are working to get the needed licenses needed as well.
After years of waiting on the transplant list, a Fargo woman is getting a second chance at life thanks to her little sister. The women are recovering this week, and Sanford Health is celebrating their 800th kidney transplant. Michelle LaFawn suffered through pain and dialysis and an agonizing wait on the kidney transplant list for more than 2 years until her sister said enough was enough. The sisters are sharing their story for the 5,000 people waiting each day to get an organ donation to encourage others to consider being a living donor.
For a couple months of this uncomfortable whatever it is now, for her to live a life that she can do everything she wants to do is like nothing.
You can watch their full story on our website and on your VNL News app. It's free in the App Store.